Hey Capricorns, welcome to your monthly love forecast for the month of June 2019. This will be for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you are a cross watcher and you're not a Capricorn but you're curious about one, you're more than welcome to hang out and stay, but I encourage you to check out the videos that I specifically did for cross watchers, because the cross watching energy can be a little bit different. So if you want to check that out after this, feel free to do so, my darlings. Or if you're a Capricorn and you're curious about another sign, you can go ahead and cross watch their video as well. Okay, so we're going to see what's coming up. So songs have been coming up to me this month, you guys, as I'm sitting down to do love readings. Capricorn, your song made me laugh. I had to stop and go back and look at the lyrics because I was like, what? Like, I remembered that song, but I just thought it was odd. You guys, the song that popped up for me when I was getting ready to sit down and do your reading was Salt and Pepper, Shoop. I don't know if you all remember that song. It's kind of old school. I'm not old, but I'm a little bit older, maybe more so than some of the audience that's watching. But if you don't know that song, you can look it up. And I was like, man, this is in some ways a perfect song for Capricorn. And I'm gonna explain. But overall, it's pretty safe to say the energy for you guys, Capricorn, in the month of June is going to be some kind of passionate fling kind of energy. Even if you're not really looking for it, it might just kind of surprise you. And that is a very sexual song. It's an extremely sexual song, and you may not consider yourself to be an overly sexual person, but it really makes sense to me, Capricorn, because you guys in the tarot, you guys are symbolized by the Devil card. No, not because you're evil, but because of what that energy kind of symbolizes. It symbolizes material excess, really, like you know, money and sex and the physical desires, the physical realm. And Capricorn, you all can be in that energy of really enjoying like physicalities, and it's not a bad thing. I just feel like what's happening for a lot of you Capricorns, you're taking your power back in your life in some way, and many of you are going to be feeling it or expressing it through the root chakra. So hence the very sexual energy that's coming up for you guys in the area of love. So we're going to see what the cards have to say after we look at these cards. I'm going to pull a love message for you from a very special deck from your soulmate. A message from your soulmate to you, Capricorn, even if you haven't met the person yet. But, okay, so what we have coming in, your first card here is the Strength card, okay? This is a very powerful card, and it makes me excited to see it. And I will tell you why. Those of you who watch my videos, you know there are certain cards when I see them, I'm like, yes, I'm happy that you're getting this card. Major Arcana cards, when I see them in love readings or in situations, makes me very happy because it tells me that you are experiencing a really significant time in your life where this is one of the destiny moments. I'm not a reader who believes that everything in our life is destined. I think we have a lot of wiggle room. I feel that we create a lot of our reality, but there's certain things that are planned for us, certain experiences, certain people we're supposed to meet. There's certain little checkpoints that have just kind of been scheduled in. And when I see Major Arcana cards, it says, hey, this is one of your little scheduled slots here. This is someone you're supposed to be meeting. This is something that's supposed to be happening right now. And the Strength card is telling me, and I just got a visual in my head of this beautiful phoenix, like just bursting out of the ashes, not crashing down, but coming up, just bursting out, lots of colors, very vibrant. So a lot of you are really getting your fire back. I know, Capricorn, you're not a fire sign, but you're getting a lot of your fire back. Some of you who do have fire in your moon or in your rising, that may be your dominant characteristic in your love life in the month of June. So I always tell you guys anyway, watch your moon, sun, and rising sign, but especially if you have fire, I would pay attention to that, because those of you who do have fire are really tapping into it really strong and really hard. The Strength card is a Leo card. Some of you might be dealing with a Leo. Some of you might have a very significant Leo soulmate coming in. But overall, the overall energy that I'm seeing, Capricorn, is you're getting a lot of confidence, you're getting a lot of courage, and you're taking lead, or you're taking hold of something. And if we go back to the song, I'm not like trying to like overanalyze it and look at it from like a very like overly critical, nitpicking standpoint. But that song is very much about somebody like seeing someone and being like, hey, yeah, like you're the one I want, like come over here, like just very in charge, very just like you're not even questioning if you can get that person. You know you're gonna get that person, and it's just this energy of like, oh gosh, how do I say this without it coming off wrong? Maybe Capricorn, some of you have fallen into the trap of being pleasers, or feeling in some way like you have to earn somebody else's affections, or you have to like show up in some way and show off to impress others. If that's been your problem in the past, it's gone. There's just like this confidence, like I'm good enough as I am right now, let's go, let's get this thing started. Like you're not even questioning yourself or feeling insecure if that is something that you've been doing in the past. Next, you've got Eight of Cups. So Eight of Cups to me is searching for meaning. It's a wish being granted, maybe not a wish being granted, but anytime I see Eight of Cups, it tells me that there was something you were trying really hard to make happen. You were very focused on a goal. You accomplished that goal. What you wanted to happen happened. And then you're like, it's not what I was expecting. Something's still missing here. And you kind of go off to find the missing thing. And so I feel for the majority of you, there's maybe a relationship that you've been struggling to hold together for a very long time, or maybe there was a person that you were really trying to like prove yourself to or win over, and you got that, and now you're like, yeah, but I'm not feeling fulfilled. I'm not feeling fulfilled. Something is missing. Other ones of you had certain goals or priorities focused primarily around career or certain things happening in your career, and you're like, yeah, I hit these goals. These things happened, I increased my income, or I climbed up the ladder, or I see that I'm on the road for that, but I'm not feeling what I thought I was going to feel by accomplishing these things. And so some of you are turning your attention to not just love, I feel passion. Like you're wanting to be desired, you're wanting to feel that energy. Like the devil card, it's passion. It's lust. It's an intense energy. It's almost like, to that point where like things are so good in bed that this person would do anything for you. Like you're wanting that kind of connection, or you're manifesting something like that, where it's just so intense to where somebody's like, oh my god, whatever you want, Capricorn, anything you say, Capricorn. So it could be seen as a little bit of like an ego thing, but when we're awakening and when our chakras are opening up and when we're coming into our seat of power, sometimes that happens when root chakra opens up. I think for a lot of you it is going to be the root chakra. When it opens up, it can be a little overactive in the beginning, or it could be a little like just bursting really strong, and then it can balance out. So I don't feel like you guys are gonna be like walking around the whole time like worship me, like all the time, but something is happening in June where you're just feeling like this surge of confidence and this desire to be appreciated, and you're calling it in. You're calling it in a very, very strong way. And so some of you are taking the things that were priorities for you before, and you're setting them aside, and you're making time to connect with certain people, or to go certain places, or to do certain things that are aligning you with feeling that satisfaction that the career hasn't been bringing you, or the relationship hasn't been bringing you. Some of you are really, really on the fence about ending something with someone because you're just like not feeling completely fulfilled. You're like, maybe on paper everything seems great, but there's just something here that's missing that I can't quite place. So some of you might be searching to find yourself, and in that process you might be surprised by somebody that's really tempting you. This is a general reading. I cannot say for every single person, this energy is going to happen the same exact way. You know the circumstances of your life, so you're going to have a pretty good idea of how this is probably going to pan out for you, you know, depending on the scenario that you're in. Oh, and who is here? Capricorn. Did I call it or what? Did I call it or what? The Devil card. This is the Devil card. In the Lewellyn Tarot, it's called the Horned One, but this is the Devil card. So sure enough, my dear, number 15, here it is. This is you. This is like you're tired of the BS. You're tired of not being satisfied. You're tired of not being fulfilled. And then you're like, I'm going to go get what is mine. Like it's time for me. I'm going to go get what is mine. Like that's the Devil energy. Okay, some people can see it as greedy or selfish. Some people can see it as egocentric. Some people can see it as lusty or materialistic or even heathenistic in some way, you know. But it's the opening of this chakra, or it's the opening of you taking back your power, right? So maybe, I'm just going to say Capricorn, maybe for some of you, not all of you, you might have to keep yourself in check, because you might, depending on how angry you are, and depending on how much you have a right to be angry about certain experiences or situations previous to now leading up to this time in your life, it can be very easy for you to get carried away. Like, it could be very easy for you to just really fall into, you know, just breaking somebody's heart more so than you need to. Or really being out there and really being out there, you know, more promiscuous than you need to. Unless, like, that's your past and that's what you want to do. But if you think you're going to look back and say, man, I wish I hadn't done that, then try to keep it under control. For some of you, if you know that you're a Capricorn, if you feel that you have a tendency where sometimes you can go too far, then just keep that in check. But overall, a lot of you, I feel, are going to be going through this change where a lot of people might feel like, man, you're really changing, or you're very different, or, you know, they may have seen you as somebody who's very quiet. They may have seen you as somebody who doesn't speak up, or they may not have an impression of you as being a flirtatious person, or they may not have an impression of you of being like a very sexual person. But there's just things about you that are changing, that people are feeling this in your aura. They're feeling this in your energy. It's a very, very intense, very, very intense energy. So, you know, maybe in the past, Capricorn, a lot of your relationships have been with people who have pursued you, and maybe they've pursued you very intensely, or they made you feel like they were really into you, but maybe the passion wasn't there in the long run. With the Devil card coming up, you're coming into your seat of power. I feel like you're locking your sights on someone, and you're like, that's who I want, and, you know, damn it, I'm gonna have them. Like, we're gonna be together. I'm gonna have this person. And you may be doing a number on this person. This person just might be somebody who you get them really turned on. You really get them going. You really get them, like, around your finger, like wrapped around your finger. That's what I feel like sometimes when I see the Devil card in a love reading. Tower moment, okay? You need to keep in mind something very significant here. What did I say about major arcana cards? That they're really big milestones, right? And so far, out of 5 of your cards, 3 of them, out of 4 of your cards so far, 3 of them have been major arcana. So whatever is happening this month in your love life, this is a very significant soulmate. And this is something that has the potential of being explosive, right? Like it's really hot in the bedroom, but then emotions can run really high, and there can be big arguments, or there can be, like, you know, this could be a very roller coaster type situation for some of you if you're not cautious or if you're not careful. I mean, 3 of your cards here are major arcana. Strength card here also says you're going to have to really be strong emotionally as you're moving forward. You're coming into your seat of power. You're coming into that desire, that lustiness, that physical pleasure. And then the Tower card basically tells us whatever happening here is going to be a permanent change for you. Your life is not going to be the same after this person. Your life will never be the same after this person. So you're going to have to think about this. For some of you, if this is somebody that you're going to be cheating, even though you don't consider yourself a cheater, and maybe you've never done it before, but the circumstances being what they are, you might get tempted and you might cheat. The Tower card is telling me if you're cheating on someone, or if you're stepping off on someone, stepping out on someone, you will get caught. Okay? You will get caught. For some of you, maybe somebody, you're getting proof that somebody has cheated on you, or somebody is doing you wrong, and so that's like you're already on the verge of being in that devil energy, and when somebody wrongs you in some way, you're like, heck no, and you're just out there. You're out there to get yours, and you're out there to get your own. The Tower card can mean many, many things. It could also be a situation sometimes like an unplanned pregnancy or something. So if you really are one of those Capricorns where you're experiencing a strong surge in sexual energy in the month of June, if you don't want to get somebody pregnant, or if you don't want to get pregnant, make sure you're taking the proper precautions, because this is very hot. This is very hot. This is very heated. It could very well happen. I feel some of you are a little bit older, not old, but a little bit older, and you might be like, oh my goodness, I'm not worried about this. I'm not some 18, 19, 20s, something, young woman, like my clock is slowed down or whatever. Like, I'm not even worried about that. It would be so hard for me to get pregnant. You might be very surprised. So just be cautious and be aware of that. For those of you who just absolutely would not want to have a child at this time, take the proper precautions. Because sure enough, here you have 5 of Cups. Something that you're deeming to be unpleasant surprising you. So I don't think this is saying, Capricorn, that you're doomed in June. I feel what this is saying to you, Capricorn, the universe is giving you a heads up to protect yourself. That you are going to have this massive surge of sexual energy. You are going to have this massive surge of power. You're going to have this massive surge of entitlement. And you're going to have options. And there's going to be people that, you can kind of choose from here. But you're going to have to take control of this power and try to move forward in as much of an organized or disciplined way that you can, because it's so much fire here that if you're not in control of the fire, it's going to get out of control, and it's going to burn you, and it's going to burn other people around you. Okay, so you just have to be in control of your power. A lot of you have been feeling powerless for so long, and you've been wanting this power. And it's finally here. You just have to harness it. So some of the things that are going to do well for you as you're experiencing these urges and these feelings, make sure that you're making time to meditate. Make sure that you're making time to work out or go for a walk. Make sure that you're making time to listen to music that is upbuilding and uplifting. Do what you can to keep your emotions and thoughts in a positive place, and then you're going to be able to control this fire in a positive way. You can still have the passion, you can still have the lust, you can still have all of those intense energies, but at least you're keeping it under control. Okay, let's see what your message is from your soulmate. This is a really beautiful deck. It's a German deck. Or Belgium, right? Belgium's German. Well, it's not. It's its own country, but I think they speak French and German there. You can see how limited my understanding is of that. But we're gonna see. Unfortunately, this deck doesn't have any names of the cards, so I can't give you. Like, the deck has a name and it's listed in the description, but the cards themselves are not named. Like Tarot is named 5 of Cups, Strength, Tower. These cards don't have individual names. So we're going to look at the picture on the card and see what message is coming in. And then we're going to read the message on the back. All right. So this is the card that you have coming in. Okay. And we're going to look at this picture here. We're going to look at this image here. All right. So I see what's standing out to me. There is a lot of light here. There's a lot of light around this union. So this is something out in the open. This isn't someone that you're sneaking around with or hiding in any way. But it does feel to me almost like they're coming together in prayer, or they're, aligning their, third eye chakras with one another. So they're coming into a union. There is a spiritual connection here, and they're trying to manifest something together. Okay, they're putting something out there to the universe in prayer, in a hope, and in trying to stay positive for one another. Maybe like a bit of a crossroads that they're facing, but they're facing it together. Okay, the message on the back is: desires do not demand love before it traps you, but desire with love creates a powerful bond. So this is really confirming the Tower for you. Okay, something could happen where you end up feeling like you're with this person. So if you were sneaking around or they were sneaking around, it's getting caught, it's coming out in the open, and you all may be making a decision to stick by or stand by each other. Okay, something might be happening here where you're just feeling like, oh my goodness, things went too far too fast, but now we have to figure out how to deal with the consequences that came around it. But you all seem to be sticking together and wanting to do that. So this is also someone, your soulmate could also be somebody who's going through a lot of changes in their life, and maybe like they just feel like they can't give up on you, or they want to be with you, and maybe there's things about this union that is coming for them at a bad time, but the love is here, or they're really feeling very strong that they love you and they're wanting to figure this out together. So this is a very intense connection, you guys. It's a very intense connection, and if you're not doing your spiritual work on your end, it can be a very crazy roller coaster. It can be a very crazy up and down tumultuous thing. But if you're keeping yourself high vibrational, and if you're doing what you need to be doing on a spiritual end, you don't have to have that disaster. You don't have to have the up and down. You can have the growth together with this person, which is a beautiful thing. Okay, it's just all in how you're coming into this energy and how you're owning the energy. And Capricorn, any Capricorn I've known, you all do have leadership potential. You all do have the potential to really take charge of a situation. It just sometimes you all doubt yourself and you second guess yourself, and that's when things become very out of control and very problematic. So just work on that, grounding yourself, work on being in ownership of your thoughts and feelings and keeping them positive. And this can be a very, very, very rewarding connection, very hot and heavy in the bedroom, very deep and intense emotionally, spiritual connection. But it's so full of energy. It can be explosive if you're not in charge, if you're not directing the energy. So I hope that makes sense, my darlings. Watch your moon sign and rising sign videos as well. Some months they may resonate with you more or add a few extra little tidbits of information. If you would like a private reading, there's a link to schedule with me in the description, and you can go ahead and schedule a reading there. Check out the cross watcher videos, those of you who are curious about somebody. But guys, please, I appreciate that you watch the love videos, and I know love is like such a important topic to many people. I get it, I understand, that's why I put the videos out there. But check out the weekly forecasts, because in those videos I cover finances, career, family life, spiritual development, all the other super duper important areas of our life, that when we have those things in balance, then we're going to have much more success in love. So that's what I'm wanting you guys to also take advantage of. It's free. They're pretty short usually. They're like 10 to 15 minutes. So check out the weekly forecasts as well. And as always, card of the day on social media. Sending you so much love, my darlings. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. Wishing you all the best.